The city looks different at night, doesn't it? The familiar streets twist into something else under the glow of streetlights. For most of us, a late-night delivery is a convenience, a simple solution to a midnight craving. But for the drivers who bring us that food, the night shift can be a journey into the unknown. They see things, hear things, and encounter situations that are anything but ordinary. Tonight, we're diving into the shadows with them. These are real stories from delivery drivers who've experienced the stranger, more unsettling side of working after dark. Buckle up, because the night is long, and it's full of stories. Our first story comes from a driver named Leo, who's been delivering for a popular app for about 3 years. He thought he'd seen it all until one particular Tuesday night. The order was simple: a couple of pizzas to a house on the edge of town, a place where the streetlights start to become sparse. When he pulled up, the house was completely dark, which wasn't unusual. People often forget to turn on their porch lights. Leo grabbed the pizzas and walked up the long, cracked driveway. As he got closer, he noticed something odd. All the curtains were drawn, but he could see a faint, flickering light from one of the upstairs windows, like a single candle. He rang the doorbell. No answer. He rang it again, a little longer this time. Still nothing. Just as he was about to call the customer, he heard a faint scratching sound from behind the door. It wasn't a dog or a cat. It was slower, more methodical. Then a voice, raspy and low, whispered from the mail slot, "Just leave it." Leo, a bit startled, said, "Sure thing, but I need you to sign, ... Double quotes. The voice cut him off, sharper this time. "Leave it now." A chill went down Leo's spine. He placed the pizzas on the porch, took a picture for the app, and practically ran back to his car. As he drove away, he looked in his rearview mirror. In that same upstairs window, he saw the silhouette of a person, perfectly still, just watching him go. He never accepted another delivery to that address. Next, we have a story from Chloe, who delivers in a bustling downtown area. You'd think the constant activity would make it safer, but sometimes the weirdness just hides in plain sight. She got an order for a single milkshake to be delivered to a high-end apartment building. The instructions were specific. Don't use the main entrance. Come to the service alley behind the building. Buzz apartment for B. I will meet you there. A bit strange, but not unheard of for people trying to be discreet. Chloe found the alley. It was dimly lit and smelled of garbage. She buzzed for B. A moment later, a man appeared at the service entrance. He was impeccably dressed in a suit, but his eyes were wide and frantic. "Do you have it?" he asked, his voice trembling. Chloe handed him the milkshake. He clutched it like a lifeline. Thank you, he stammered, fumbling in his pocket and pulling out a $100 bill. "Here, keep the change. You have no idea what you've done for me." Before Chloe could even process the huge tip, he took a long sip of the milkshake, let out a sigh of pure relief, and said, "She hates it when I run out of vanilla." He then turned, walked back into the building, and the heavy service door clicked shut behind him, leaving Chloe alone in the alley, completely bewildered. Who was she, and what was so important about that vanilla milkshake? It's a question that still keeps her up at night. Sometimes, the horror isn't about what you see, but what you hear. This next story is from a driver named Mark. He was making a delivery to a rural farmhouse miles down a winding dirt road. It was a clear night, the kind where you can see every star in the sky. He found the house easily enough, an old 2-story building with a big wraparound porch. As he got out of his car, The only sound was the chirping of crickets. He walked up to the door and knocked. Immediately, the crickets stopped. Complete silence. Then, from inside the house, he heard music start to play. It was old-timey music, like something from a 1930s radio show, tinny and faint. He waited, a little creeped out by the sudden change. The music got a little louder. Then he heard footsteps, slow and heavy, as if someone was dragging their feet, descending a staircase. The footsteps stopped right behind the door. Mark could hear faint breathing. He called out, "Delivery." The breathing stopped. The music stopped. The silence returned, heavier than before. Mark stood there for what felt like an eternity. He called the customer, and it went straight to voicemail. He sent a text, "I'm here with your food." The second he hit send, he saw the screen light up from inside the house, through the thin curtains of a downstairs window. Someone was in there, ignoring him. He left the food, took his photo, and got out of there as fast as his car would go. The whole drive back, he couldn't shake the feeling that he had interrupted something he wasn't supposed to see. Our final story tonight comes from a driver who prefers to remain anonymous. This one is less about a single spooky encounter and more about a slow, creeping dread. She often worked the late shift from 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. For several weeks, she kept getting deliveries to the same industrial park on the outskirts of the city. It was a ghost town at that hour, just empty warehouses and silent loading docks. The orders were always smaller single soda, a bag of chip sand, always to the same spot, the back gate of Warehouse 7. The first few times, a man in a security guard uniform would meet her, take the food, and thank her. But then, things got weird. The guard started saying strange things. One night, he said, "You're a lifesaver. It gets lonely watching nothing." The next week, it was, "Do you ever feel like you're being watched?" He'd always stare off into the darkness behind the warehouse as he said it. The final time she delivered there, she pulled up to the gate, and the guard was already waiting. His face was pale. "You shouldn't come here anymore," he whispered, grabbing the soda from her hand. "He doesn't like new people," she asked. "Who doesn't like new people?" The guard just shook his head, pointed a shaky finger at the massive, dark warehouse behind him, and said, "The night manager." He then turned and walked back into the darkness. She looked up the company that owned the warehouse. It had been officially abandoned for 5 years. There was no security, and there definitely was no night manager. She quit the next day. These drivers are the unsung heroes of our modern world, navigating not just traffic, but the strange and unsettling corners of our towns and cities after dark. What starts as a simple job can quickly turn into a story you'll tell for the rest of your life. Every ding of the app could be an order that leads to an unforgettable and sometimes terrifying experience. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the night. If you have your own strange delivery story or any other spooky encounter, share it in the comments below. I'd love to read them. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more dives into the unexplained. Stay safe out there, and maybe think twice the next time you order a midnight snack. You never know who's bringing it to you.